Dude, you're going through it right now.
Maybe if I put the battery in the charger the right way so that it's connected to the connectors.
Yeah, that works sometimes too.
So welcome to end of the day, Will, as opposed to beginning of the day, Will.
Fresh morning, dude.
When
You're
I'm
getting me
fresh
on
and
the
I'm
good part. I'm on the good part. See, it's the end of my day. It's Friday. I'm done with my first week back at work, right?
I'm
And then
yeah,
you're the opposite because you always got me. I'm like, I have to like hype myself up before the
in the
recordings, dude.
mornings I'm good. At the end of the
Dude,
day, you don't who knows what's happened. I've dealt
I'm
with kids, I've
dead
dealt with
in the
stress,
mornings,
I've dealt with
bro. Oh my gosh. All right.
oh Lord help us, man.
Good news, bad news. We have confirmation that we just got the green light for a K-pop Demon Hunters cinematic universe. Good news, right?
Nick.
Bad news, though, we just got confirmation, though, that Demon Slayer is going to be dragged out probably as long as possible. Maybe a cash grab or maybe, hopefully, better animation quality. We're not
I'll
sure
be
about
over
that.
40. I'll be over 40 when it comes out.
It's going to be a long time. We're getting more into that. Apparently, Spotify and YouTube might be stealing your data, and it might be, this is new to me. I've never heard this before, but it might just be unattractive to like anime. All this and more we'll be getting into on this podcast episode. Welcome back to More Than a Cartoon. I am your host, Kyle, with my co-host, Dr. Applesauce, aka Will. And honestly, this is an exciting week. A lot of it, a lot of excitement, a lot of
Mhm, mhm.
disappointment, a lot of what could be, can't be. And then sadly, too, also something different that we're used to, not talking about anime, but it could affect us as content creators, specifically about YouTube, Spotify, search engines, more on that. We'll get into more. But first, let's talk about the Demon Slayer and the release
Yes,
dates that just came out. I'm going to leave it to the expert, Will, on this
yes.
one, because I know he's super excited to talk about this. Take it over, buddy.
Well, it's funny because I think in last week's podcast, we actually talked about this where you were asking me like, "Hey, at what point do you decide that you're going to read the manga or wait for
Exactly.
the anime?" Right? And I
Yes, definitely
brought
remember
up
that.
Demon Slayer. I was like, "I'm so invested in experiencing this story in the animation form
Mhm.
that I don't want to read the manga." Well, the information that we found out today that I just made a video on some of my shorts channels has made me decide I'm going to go read the manga because
No.
it's 2026 now, right?
Right.
The first movie just came out, and
2025 now. And then next one.
I'm sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
2025. And then the speculation is that the third movie won't come out until as early as
Ooh.
2029 and as late as 2031, if not later, because we know how like these
Yeah.
animation
Yeah.
deadlines happen. And like
Mhm.
it's a double-edged sword, right? Like I haven't seen the movie yet because I'm waiting for it to come to theatrical. I want to go to the biggest freaking screen that I can see.
It's
I
so
want
hard
music.
waiting.
I want audio that blows girls' clothes off. Let me know if you catch that reference. And like, I want to experience the movie, right? And so I haven't seen it, but apparently the animation is phenomenal and it took them years to do it. So it's a double-edged sword. I understand it's not like they're just postponing for just the sake of postponing. It's the amount of time that it's going to take to animate these episodes, right? But here's
Is
what's
it though?
interesting. Exactly. Here's what's interesting. Demon Slayer came out in 2019. It is now 2025. So that's 6 years. In those 6 years, we got 63 episodes of what many people say is one of the best animated anime ever. It has very good animation in most of the episodes. So if we can get 63 episodes in 6 years, which would be if each episode is 20 minutes long, let's do some quick math right here.
I mean, first off, that's about 10 episodes, little more than just 10 episodes per
Yeah,
year.
right.
So
So why is it going to take another 6 years to do two more movies that are
mhm.
probably going to be 2.5 hours long each, about 5 hours of runtime, which is
So
interesting, right? So
if you
that's
do the math real quick too, if they're say they're 22 minutes long and you do about 10 episodes per year, which is also first season, that's 220 minutes, right?
yeah,
That's 220. That's
yeah.
for a year.
Hmm.
It's going to be about an
That's
hour
almost
and a
four
half,
hours.
say even 3 hour movie,
Yeah.
right? Things aren't adding up here.
Yeah. It's strange,
Mhm.
right? And so that it's disappointing, but it's not like the end of the world, right? Like, I think you get into this whole debate of like not pirating stuff and like wanting to wait and be patient and watch the movie and experience the
It's not
movie.
easy. Yeah.
But now it's like, hey, I'm 38 years old. You're telling me that 5 more years potentially, that I'm gonna be 43 to wait until I know what happens with Demon Slayer. I'm not going to do it. You know why? Because I'm going to get spoiled before that happens. So I'd rather just take control of my own destiny and read the stinking manga so I know what happens. So people stop being like, oh, yeah, this happens to Tanjiro, or oh, yeah, this happens to this person, and blah, 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 blah.
Can't
So
believe
I'm
this,
just
man.
going to read the dang manga. But
Look
yeah,
what y'all did to Will. Look what you did to him. You're making him compromise on his beliefs and views. And
now I believe in delayed gratification, but
yes,
5 years to finish a story
right.
that's already written is while maybe that's how long they need to do it properly, it's a bit much. I'm
I'm
still
not
gonna
seeing that.
I'm still gonna
For,
go see them all. I'm still
yeah.
like I'm sure it's gonna be great, but
Mhm.
wow, that's a even if it was 2029, that's still 4 years. That's still a long time.
And that means it would have been taken up 10 years for
A
an
full
anime.
decade. A
So if
full
you think
decade.
about that, and my mindset too is that I'm actually kind of happy, and now don't judge me on this, but I'm actually kind of happy this is happening because I'm
Okay.
actually I'm actually experiencing what everyone did with Attack on Titan. I mean,
Yeah.
using that as a reference, I
Basically.
never had that experience. So
Basically.
I understand because it took what a whole 10 or 13 years for the show to be completely done, right?
Bro, let me tell you the Attack on Titan like agony of being
Give
a
it to me.
day one Attack on Titan fan,
Right.
okay? I'm
Okay.
talking 2013
Mm.
when Attack on Titan season 1 came out and it was only in Japanese. Only in Japanese. So I'm watching this show with my friends and it's like freaking peak and it
Mm.
ends. And
Mm.
season 1 ends and then like I was getting ready to go be a missionary for a year. So after literally like
Yeah,
after
I forgot
Attack
about
on
that.
Titan ended in 2013, at the
Mm.
very in January of 2014, I left and I was a missionary and traveled the world, went to like 12 different countries, all this kind of crazy stuff for all of 2014. And so like I lived on $5 a day, lived out of a backpack, had a tent, slept on the floor, did all kinds of crazy stuff. I wasn't thinking about watching anime during that year. So I get home and I'm like, oh, it's been a year. That awesome show. Certainly season two's out. Nope, nope. Next year. Oh, maybe
No.
season. Nope.
No.
So everybody's like, oh my god, the final season took this long. Whoa, you don't know the pain of
Yeah.
waiting for season two. And then season two comes out, and then it's like, okay, this is great. We get up to season three, and then it's a huge gap. And then so yes, Attack on Titan, one of the best anime ever made. If you
I
don't
think it
agree
is.
with that, that's
It's a
fine.
masterpiece. It's
Yeah,
above
oh,
animation in my
absolutely.
opinion. Above
Yeah,
animation in my
yeah,
opinion. I'm trying to
absolutely.
get my wife to watch it with me actually recently.
I
I think I'm chipping away at it. I think we might have success in the near future, boys. So keep hoping for
I
that.
I typically tend to not make definitive like objective statements about anime and people's opinions on anime, but one hill that I would there's two big anime hills that I'll die on. The My Hero
Okay.
Academia one that we talked about, and then the second
Okay.
one, no, I say this with all respect, no disrespect. Don't email me. You can comment below, call me
Do it.
stupid, whatever you want.
Do it. Do it.
If you think Attack on Titan was boring or has bad story writing or doesn't have a good story, you might not be intelligent enough to understand what's actually being written. And I
Oh,
don't mean I don't mean that to be disrespectful. It's complex. Like Code Geass is super complex, right? And
is it
it's
though?
not for everybody.
Cookie House,
There's
I can understand.
yeah, there's complexity to it, and
Right. Right.
I think that's why we're talking about Attack on Titan when we're supposed to be talking about Demon Slayer.
Where did we go?
But like I think that's why Attack on Titan is so good because it has the vapid surface level just badass fights and
Take over
really
the
cool
podcast.
animation. Right. And it's got that surface level stuff that anybody can enjoy, but
Mm.
it's got the really deeper stuff that just chinks away and goes down deeper, deeper, deeper that you can really dive into.
I think it's crazy how things work out. Because I kid you not, on the way home, I was driving home and I was thinking exactly this because I was thinking of your video that you posted about Attack on Titan recently. And again, we're talking
Oh
about
yeah.
Attack on Titan. We're gonna dive into this because I'm watching an anime currently right now that is about political warfare. Technically, I mean, it's Romeo and Juliet versus like with anime and politics, something like that. And I'm like, I'm not a big fan of political anime. But then I realized Attack
AOT
on
is a
Titan
political anime.
Attack on Titan did the perfect political anime you could ever think of
Hmm.
because when it first starts out, it lures you in realizing it's not a political anime. It's not until you realize that there's people outside the wall. Because originally you just think it's okay, people empowerment, got to overthrow it, or also just surviving from the Titans. Once you realize there's people outside and they're keeping that information from them,
Hmm.
bro, you're already like three
Yeah.
seasons in. You're hooked. I don't like political anime. Well, you have to know
Yeah. That
that
was
does amazing.
That was the so yeah, I just did the video that was like the big 10 plot twist of Attack on Titan. And so everybody has a plot twist that was different for them, and we won't say too many of them to not spoil people. But for me, the one that was the biggest like punch to the gut was when I probably closer to the end of season 3, I started suspecting like I don't think they're the last of humanity.
Mhm.
I
Right.
think something's going on. And then you have that confirmed in season 4, and you're like, oh, wow, there's this whole freaking world. And they are isolated. Not only are they isolated in this pocket, but the whole world is their enemy. The entire world wants
They
to
did
destroy them.
a great job world building.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
speaking of world building, let's forget that. Let's talk about universe building because K-pop Demon Hunters is potentially creating their own cinematic universe, and they're building a franchise off of this.
Mhm.
Now, this right here, there's a lot to talk about this one because the CEO of Netflix, listen, CEO of Netflix singled out K-pop Demon Hunters. Imagine all the shows, all the movies, all the new releases that are coming out for Netflix. And the CEO decides, hey, I'm going to single out the
Yep.
number one animated movie on Netflix. Okay, you're thinking, okay, that's a given. But y'all don't understand how popular that is. The number one animated movie on Netflix of all time. So he
Well, yeah.
singled that out.
The last time a show got talked about this much from Netflix was when Squid Game season 1
Squid
came
Games.
out. That was
Another
the last
Korean.
yeah,
Another Korean show.
Korean story.
Or a Korean based story. Correct. So that right there is amazing. But if you look at this, all right, this show came out of June 2025. It's been technically over a month when all this stuff was announced. Over a month. Yet it was at the top of the charts for like
It was
5 weeks
number
straight.
1 on number 1 movie on Netflix for 5 weeks straight. It got dethroned when the new Happy Gilmore came out.
And honestly, that was ridiculous. It needs to go back up because I don't know if you've seen it, but it was a big
It's the
letdown.
nostalgia. It's the nostalgia. of Happy
It was
Gilmore.
just nostalgia the whole time. But that we're talking about K-pop. We're staying on here. We're staying on topic for this one because I'm really excited about this. According to Netflix and Sony, they're considering a trilogy sequel. So that's crazy. A live action remake, which, Lord, please no. A TV series. I'm a little bit iffy about that one, if I'm being honest. I really don't know how that's going to do. I really want to hear more information about that. A stage musical, which it's all music, which I mean, like I said, I wanted more music, so that might be better for me. And even a short film to bridge the entire seasons and everything together.
So like a little OVA to like answer some questions that maybe they don't want to make a whole movie out of.
It is, first off, it's a cash grab. It is. You
For
can tell
sure.
they're capitalizing off of something because they're talking to other companies outside of Netflix to do merchandise, and you know that right there is just going to rain in like crazy. People are going to be buying all that stuff.
Well,
Here,
it's so popular. I introduced my wife and kids to it. We've
oh, they
watched
love
it
it,
4 more times. So
dude.
I've literally
So good.
I've seen it 6 times, and like if my movie theater down the road was like, "Hey, we're doing a screening of K-pop
Oh, I
Demon
would
Hunters," and
love it.
I would go. I would be there.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
percent.
It's
So
such a good show, and I agree with you. I mean, it's definitely a cash grab by Netflix,
mhm.
but I mean, it's a good cash grab, right? So like here's the thing.
I'm
They're
all
they're
for it. I wanted
yeah,
more.
they're wanting to do all these different things, and as long as they're all executed well, that'll be great. Here's
Yes.
something that would be interesting that
Mhm.
I doubt they'll do. I hate live action adaptations. I am not a fan, never a fan. Like I explained in my video today, there's things that you can do with animation that you just can't do in live action. So like some of the coolest moments of K-pop Demon Hunters, the weird like comic like angry
Facial
weird faces
expressions.
that they do,
Yes.
you can't do
Yeah.
that.
No.
You can't do scenes where the hunters jump out of the airplane and superhero dive into their arena. You
Mm-mm.
can't do stuff like there's just
Mm.
things that you just can't do those things. But it would be interesting if they take the approach of like what the Matrix did, right? The Matrix has, and we're getting old school, right? The Matrix has 3 movies, now 4, multiple video games, and the Animatrix. And in order to get the full story of the Matrix, you have to consume all of that media because
Really?
none of it goes over the same exact things. Every part of those different mediums go over a different portion of the story in the world of the Matrix. So you're never getting the same thing that's really redone. You're getting another story in the world that's canonically like a part of the world.
Yeah,
So
but it's
that
live
would be
action.
the only way that
It's
I
live
to land that
action.
plane. That would be the only way that I would
To
be
land that.
excited
Live
about
action.
a live action K-pop Demon Hunter is if it wasn't a remake, but it was a live action story in that world. But here's the thing, if they did that, they could cater it in such a way that it was operating within the limits of live action cinema and still be good.
Well, here's the thing. Let me tell you right now. If not single handedly, I know for a fact the honeymoon is protected. All right, for how popular this animation movie, but it's technically an animation movie has done, the honeymoon is protected. Why mess with it with the live action?
I
That's
will
just
agree.
spitting on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm glad you brought up that point because it kind of almost answered it. At the same time, I had a question for you. If you could pick one scene from K-pop Demon Hunters the movie, right? You could pick one scene from the movie. What would you like to see it as a live action? What scene from K-pop Demon Hunters just speaks to you, saying, you know what, that would do pretty well as a live action. But I do want to point out this one clause, though. You can't do any of the songs because that's too
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. That's a hard one, honestly. I don't know. I think it would be, I mean, one of the funniest scenes that I don't think they could do it well, but it would be cool to get the right writers and then the right type of directors to do the scene. It's one of my favorite scenes at the beginning when they're snacking.
Right? How could they do that with the
Right.
facial expressions, dude?
How could they? But I mean, it's funny, right? Like
Yeah.
if they got the right act, like think about Jim Carrey in like
Mhm,
his prime. Jim
mhm.
Carrey could do crazy things with his face that people were like, "How are you doing that?" Right? If they could get
Right.
the right actors to do it and not try and
Mhm.
mimic it exactly, but interpret it, right? Interpret it the right way for live action. I think that could be a really funny, like it almost makes me think of like an SNL skit, like that could
Yeah.
be really funny.
What makes me think, because I was thinking my first answer was going to be when the tiger was doing the pot, just flipping them. I wanted to see how would they do that, but that also made me think, how are they going to do the tiger and the crow? Because you know how they've done with Lilo and Stitch and Sonic the Hedgehog. That didn't go so well. You saw how people were in uproar and they wanted them to fix it.
Yeah.
So thankfully, it turned out
Yeah.
to be the way it needed to be. I'm really, really curious about how they're gonna make Tiger look. Crow, I'm not too worried about that. That could be either way. But
You know what was
Tiger, it's
the
gonna be CGI, of
funniest
course.
part of that whole movie to me, and it's a piece that I bet most people didn't realize, but the first time I watched it, I caught this and I just laughed my rear end off. It's when they're getting ready to do the Idol Awards, right? And so they're transitioning into the Idol Awards, and then that the announcer for the Idol Awards comes on, and he's like, it still cracks me up.
Dude,
He's like, every snowflake is unique, but one snowflake is probably the best problem. And I'm just like, what?
that whole intro out of the whole movie, my wife's like, this is like the one part of the movie that just doesn't fit in here at all. But it's so good though. One of them is better than all the other. Like, who says that? But beautiful though. And then of course, apparently an asteroid hits the Earth. That okay. But here's another question though. Going into tying in with the whole Demon Slayer debacle that we're having,
Mhm.
how do you feel about release dates coming with K-pop Demon Hunters? Do you think it's going to be
Mm,
fast, trying to do that cash grab? Because you saw what happened with Squid
mhm.
Games. They waited a
Yeah.
little while, but then they did like the season 2, then season 3, pretty quickly. I think within the same year,
But they didn't
actually.
really announce when it was coming, right?
Yeah, they
I
did
would
terrible at
prefer, yeah, I would prefer if they don't actually like announce the times or the projected like dates, because then it just makes us as fans where if I know, so like with Demon Slayer, if I know like, hey, the third movie is probably
that.
not going to come out till 2029 to
Yeah,
2031, I'm going to be thinking about that the whole time, right? But if
yeah.
I don't know that information, it's easier to forget about it and just like, you know, focus on other things and then be pleasantly surprised, like Squid Games. I loved Squid Game season 1, and then like Squid Game season 2 came out, I was like, "Oh, this is a surprise." And I watched it, and then Squid Game season 3 came out and I haven't had a chance to watch it. I still need to watch it. And but it was a surprise, right? I would prefer that that's the way that they go. I don't know if they will or they won't,
No,
but
that's a great point. Great
yeah, I
point.
think that's a better way to do it. But you also have something like, I wonder if Demon Slayer is more popular than K-pop Demon Hunters, right?
No,
Like Demon,
no.
I
At
don't
this
know.
point, dude, it is taken
You got to think,
over.
but you
You
got to
see
think,
grown men that wouldn't even touch
sure,
anime singing the songs. I'm sorry. If you want to talk about Dying on Hills, I think right now K-pop Demon Hunters is going
yeah.
to surpass Demon Slayer like this year. Like
But Demon Slayer has what 6 years worth of fans built
I
up.
don't care.
So I
It's
don't.
dude,
All I'm
go
getting at
go to any
is,
convention and like you'll see there's gonna be probably more people there
oh yeah.
that are gonna be in K-pop Demon Hunters than you'll see with Demon Slayer. I guarantee you that. That's
Now,
what will happen. Now, here's the thing though that you brought up, and I think is a great point because I didn't realize till today, and it's crazy how all these topics we're talking about is like it seems like fate almost. I don't want to be that guy to throw it out, but on my way home, also I was listening to the radio, and they mentioned how they are now starting recording for the new Spider-Man movie, and we just talked about this I think last week,
I have
and
a
I,
point on that
and I
that I want to
realized
bring up.
I was like, it's been that long since the Spider-Man movie came out. So once you said that, it kind of gives you that realization.
Yep. So you're
It
not really
kind of it
thinking
kind of
about it.
drags it out a little bit. So I kind of like being
Yeah.
surprised. But also on the other point, they did like no advertising for K-pop Demon Hunters, and look at the success it is.
Yep.
So I don't think they need any advertisement when the
Yep.
next one comes out. I don't think they need any advertisement when the TV show merchandise. I think it's just going
Yeah.
to do itself
I
because when
saw
you have
the
something that's that good, it's gonna sell itself.
I saw the trailer for the first time today because I made a video on it and I needed to download the trailer so I could use clips from it. No,
Mhm.
something I realized today, I didn't realize this. I realized this today because we watched the Mitchells versus the Machines on Netflix today with my kids,
Mhm.
which is
Is it good?
like, it's very good. It's made by the same, it's animated by the same studio that
Yeah, Sony
animated
did it.
Spider-Man, and
Oh, okay.
they're the same. Yeah, Sony, and that's the same studios that animated K-pop Demon Hunters. So K-pop Demon Hunters is animated by the
Mhm.
same studios that animated Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man.
See the similarities of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
with the
there's
animation.
similarity. Mitchell's and the
Yeah.
Machines is very, very similar, but
Yeah.
I
So
just
I saw the
realized that
trailer for
today,
that. Yeah.
and I thought that was really, really cool.
I don't know because one thing is I do like how they're making a Spider-Man. I like knowing that they're recording a new Spider-Man, but at the same time, I'm at the point though. It baffles me how long we'll have to wait. But time might not be on our side because this whole episode is gonna be about time.
So
Because
I have a question for you.
yeah, go ahead.
Talking about, okay, so like we're definitely gonna get one movie for K-pop Demon Hunters, right? Probably
Three.
might get two, three series, whatever. What's if they could only explore one thing, what would you want them to explore? What questions would you want them to answer? Would you want it to be a sequel or a prequel? What
Right.
would you want?
So honestly, I feel there's multiple answers for that. That's a great question because there's multiple. Obviously, yes, I would love to know about Rumi's father
Mhm.
because me and you went into deep
Yeah.
talk about that,
Yeah.
and you brought up a point that I thought was very good. And so, in my mindset, I was thinking maybe her mom was tricked and her father was a demon. I think maybe her father became a demon after her mom thought she was pregnant. But also, the way you put it makes very good sense, and I think it's kind of like also showing what was supposed to happen, where Rumi's mother fell in love with an actual demon, and just seeing how Rumi and everyone made fun of me about how I pronounce his name. I'm gonna say Jay because everyone made fun of me about how I pronounce his name.
You know.
So with Jay, that how they can have a formal relationship, they can build a family, but what happened to the father?
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
happened to all that? So I really do want to go more into detail with that, but also I just obsessed with Rumi and Jay. I
Yeah.
want to see what happens with them.
Yeah.
Um, I really do think they're going to explore the whole sword and the soul situation with him. I, I don't know. There's so many avenues they can go. And I'd be happy with either one, whichever direction. Even if they want to talk about Zoe's past, if they want to talk about Mira, right?
Yeah. Mira.
Sure, her past, all that, that's fine. Because even though we have like a broad aspect of what it's going to be, I really do think whichever direction they go, I'm not going to be disappointed because they set this as such a high, even if it's like compared to like the Happy Gilmore, I don't think I can be let down.
Yeah.
I really
There's
don't.
so much there that they can like they did a really good job setting it up in such a way that there's
for a
a lot
franchise.
to explore, right? So
Mhm.
let's just talk. They could do a movie that's the next movie could be a prequel. Hey, here is the story of Rumi's mother and father while she was a part of the Sunlight Sisters. So
Mhm.
the Sunlight Sisters are the hunters at that time, and then it's the story of how Rumi came to be. So that could be a whole movie. Then they could do another movie that's a prequel directly following what happens here and what's going on because Guima isn't necessarily like destroyed, he's just suppressed, right? And so like what's going on with that is Genu going to come back? They could do a whole movie on that and then they could do a whole series on how Mira, Zoe and Rumi became hunters and kind
Like
of
the
like
training
as
arc.
their training arc while they were
Yeah.
still kids. They could dive into more of their family, more of like what it was like in their family environments and stuff like that while they were
Yeah.
training. So
Yeah.
they
A
could
lot
do
of
the whole training
backstories and
arc
everything.
there
Great.
and then end with their like inauguration as hunters and becoming hunters for the
And
first
then
time.
it
You could do a
leads to
whole
the
series
movie.
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
100%.
it leads to the movie. So there's so much you could do. And then you could go further back to the founding of the hunters for with the original priestesses and shamans and tell
I
that
can see that
story
happening.
in a movie or a short film. So there's so much that they could do. They could do a movie with the next set of hunters, right? Depending
Yeah.
on, maybe
Maybe a
Rumi
little
has
risky.
a child. But I'm saying there's a lot that could be done.
Oh, dude, if Rumi had a child with Jay or Gino, that I would lose it. I would freaking lose it. Holy crap.
Have you
That's a great
seen
way.
have you seen any of the abridged like the fan dubs over K-pop Demon Hunters?
There's so many. There's so many. No, no. We're talking about this because there's one point you didn't put up there with the whole even TV series, or if they want to do the tying everything together. What if they did a Sasha Boys like themed
Oh yeah, like how
like
the
TV
Saga Boys
show
ended up getting
like
like
before?
demonized.
Yeah, before who they were, and then before they
Yeah,
got demonized and all. Show their what led them to being like.
yeah,
Because you only
yeah,
saw what happened with Genie with him being tempted because he wasn't good
yeah,
enough. He couldn't do that. He wanted a better life for
yeah,
him and his family, but only chose himself. What about the Sasha Boys?
yeah.
How did that happen?
I think they could do a really, really cool anthology. I don't know if you know what an anthology is or people watching or listening know what an anthology is.
Yeah, totally. But just tell everyone so
Yeah.
that so they know. Yeah.
An, an anthology, so examples, Love, Death, and Robots, those are anthologies, right? The Animatrix is an anthology. So an anthology is you could take American Horror Story, but from American Horror Story, you have to take it from a very macro perspective. With Love, Death, and Robots and Animatrix, you can look at it at a micro view of just each specific thing. So like an anthology is when you have a bunch of stories that take place in the same universe that are directed by different people and animated by different studios, right? So the Animatrix is like an hour and a half long, and it has multiple stories in it that it's all anime directors and anime studios, but it's all telling small, 10, 15-minute stories from the Matrix. Love, Death, and Robots, same exact thing. Different studios, different animators, but telling all these stories in the same universe. American Horror Story, very similar thing, but instead of episodes, it's seasons. Every season is a different story in this overall world. So that's what an
Be Hero
anthology is.
X. Maybe.
I wouldn't say To Be Hero X is because To Be Hero X is like telling this overall singular story and then jumping off into a tangent and telling another story and then reconnecting it back to the characters. It's
To
kind
the
of
original story. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think our
So
listeners are somewhat
yeah,
understanding what's going on when
yeah,
you're talking about. I think they're somewhat
yeah.
understanding.
So anthology, I think they could do a really cool K-pop Demon Hunter anthology
Mhm.
and, say an hour and a half long, 6 or 7 different stories. Everybody gets, 12 to 15 minutes and then bring in some of the best animation and anime studios and directors and let them animate these stories in their styles and then
Hmm.
give us that. That's what the Animatrix did and that's what Love, Death and Robots does and it's phenomenal.
Hmm. I just, I think that's good, but that's giving a lot of power to a lot of people. Because, I thought the
Well,
animation
obviously
was great. I
scripts and
really
everything would
enjoyed
have
it.
to be obviously like the scripts could be written by the same people and then you're just giving the power to turn the story into the
Their own
animation.
art form.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
giving them the power to write the story. You're just saying,
Right.
here's the script, and you get to turn it, you get to bring it to life.
Yeah. No, I understand that. That's fine. Because, like I said, I do think it's like, I really do like the animation it was. And going back to it always ties back into freaking Attack on Titan, always. when Wit Studio changed,
Mhm.
I preferred Wit Studio
So
for
did I.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
I preferred that. So did the story make me like it less? No, no, I just preferred something. So
Yeah.
with the animation, that could be a little risky going into that. Like I said, that might be too much power, but at the same time, I do like seeing people's art and the way they
Right.
depict
Their
certain stuff.
interpretation. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. So that'd be something cool to see. But I don't know. I'm not thinking about that. Really
Yeah.
am. That's a
But
good one though.
speaking of animation, circling it back to Demon Slayer,
Mhm.
yeah, there's like reports of people literally like going on record and saying that it's the best animation they've ever seen in anything. And like people passing out in the theaters because it's so good and just the hype is so high. What do you think about this? So it's supposed to come out in America September 12th, I believe it is, and pre-sale tickets go up August 15th. Do you think there's going to be issues getting tickets? Like, what do you think?
So that actually it reminds me a lot what's going on with India because currently what they had to do was there's so many people pirating the movie that they were worried about sales for the tickets. Now what they did was they upped the release date. I can see that happening for
The push the
America,
release date?
so I think that could change. I I mean everyone wants to get that bag, but I really think it's gonna do well. I think it's still gonna do. I don't think it's gonna do as well because of piracy of how big it
So,
is,
well,
and
let me
there's
clarify. I'm
okay.
saying, do you think there's going to be an issue buying tickets? Like, there's going to be such a demand for tickets that it's going to be hard to get tickets to see it.
See, I don't know. Even going back to like pushing up the date, I don't know. But with buying tickets, yes and no, because I really do think that it's a good anime. But I've just never been in that anime movie scene. I've never gone to a movie theater to watch an anime,
You
so I
haven't,
don't know. I've never,
dude.
so I don't know how it's gonna go.
It's a
I wanted to
super
go
fun
see Mugen
experience.
Train.
Yeah.
That was the one I was planning to go see in theaters. But with COVID and everything that happened, it just wasn't. It wasn't able to happen. So I just, I really don't know. That's a great question because I really do think the anime would sell out. I don't think it'd be hard getting tickets there. I mean, you could have scalpers, you could have resellers for it
Mhm.
with anything. I think that's a possibility. But I feel like with the amount of studios, or I'm sorry, with the amount of movie theaters out there and all different screening times and people wanting to watch this movie, I feel like they're just going to up the amount of theaters they're playing in,
That's what I'm hoping
sell
because
more tickets.
I enjoy going to see movies or anime movies when they have theatrical releases. I think
Mhm.
the first it might have
Wait,
been
they have
Mugen
that?
Train. Huh?
They have that?
Yeah, yeah, it happens. So like Mugen Train was in the theaters. There was multiple My Hero Academia movies that dropped in theaters. Suzume dropped in theaters. But what I'm getting at is it's not like every theater. So in my
Right.
area, if there's like 15 movie theaters within a 30-mile drive in any
Mhm.
direction, out of those 15, maybe four of them will have screenings of the anime movies when they drop, and
Really?
it'll be a much shorter time frame and less theaters than like your typical like movie release, right? So my fear is, or my hope is that they will actually, either be the Demon Slayer movie will either be in more theaters, or if it's only in the same theaters, that it'll have more showings. But my fear is that they're just going to do standard operating procedure, and it'll be the 3 or 4 theaters around the
Yeah.
area, and we'll get maybe a Friday and a Saturday release, and then that's going to be that. Like that's what my fear is. I don't know. I would assume these theaters are paying enough attention, and I would assume that Ufotable and Sony are like marketing it well for the Western audience, and that's not going to happen.
Well, have
But
you seen
I just
anything?
don't know because this is the most hyped anime movie release ever,
Right.
ever.
Besides social media, have you seen any advertisement?
Um, no. Besides social media, no.
No. I just went to the movie theaters the other day. Nothing.
But it's
You know,
also anime's still in one of those things where it's like you don't want to advertise it to the masses. The cult anime is still almost a cult following in that like it's not as like
understood. Yeah.
you're not gonna be watching, a sitcom on NBC and get a trailer for the Demon Slayer movie. But you'll get a trailer for the new Liam Neeson movie or whatever, right? Like that it's not like that. So
That'll
that is
sell more. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is one thing that I'm wondering. I don't know how that's gonna happen. I do know that, like, I'm gonna be ready, so I think the pre-sales go up August 15th. I'll be checking my preferred theater as soon as that's available, and I'd love to go on a nice midnight showing in the first IMAX because we have some huge IMAX theaters in our area with, like, great seats. I'd love to get to do that.
See, I didn't even know it was coming out in August. What you said, 15th, the pre-sales?
Pre-sales,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't even know that. So now I do. So that's I'm just like, advertising needs to happen because I guarantee if you go over to Japan or maybe in other countries, they're advertising the crap out of
In
this.
Japan, they were advertising it to such a degree that the biggest taxi cab company in Japan rolled out a whole fleet of cabs wrapped in Demon Slayer Infinity Castle like graphics.
And what we get is maybe once in a while you see something happen in Times Square that
Yeah,
just another
yeah,
person finds, takes a picture of. Oh, look
yeah.
at that. That's what we get. That's what we get. Taxis. Come on, people. I mean, I know it's a smaller, country compared to ours, but good Lord, man. You think Netflix, Crunchyroll, freaking Prime Video, Disney, all of them, they're showing that their sales are increasing because of anime. They're gearing their platforms towards anime, and yet we're not doing any advertising? The hell, man.
Yep.
Oh, makes my blood boil. It really, because I feel like if I had more information on this stuff too, I'd be more excited for the Demon
Yeah.
Slayer movie. I'm not.
Well,
I have no idea what's going on.
so I'm incredibly excited for it because I've been a fan of Demon Slayer since the day it came out. But here's the interesting thing because made a little bit of content on this and posted a little bit about like how they're threatening legal action and that the leaks are hurting the movie. So I got 2 points. One, it's been confirmed that the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie has been viewed over 10 million times illegally online. People are like, well, why are they mad about that? The goal is to get people to watch the movie. No, stupid. The goal is to make money for the animation studio so they can continue to do this. If it's been viewed 10 million times online, and if the average movie ticket was at an incredibly low conservative number, say an average movie ticket's $5, which it's not, it's a lot more
Holy
than that.
crap, that'd be amazing.
Let's just say it's $5. That's $50 million in potential lost revenue. That's why they're mad. That's why they're threatening legal action. So you have that. And then you have people saying, well, like, they should have just done a worldwide release. It's their own fault. They should have released it all at the same time.
I can
While
see
I
that.
don't disagree, that would have been nice. You have to understand the anime culture in Japan is much more popular than the anime culture in the rest of the world. It's much more deep rooted and it's much more culturally just a normal thing to love Japan. So they're trying to keep Japan special and give Japan special things and special treatment when it comes to these releases. Also, it takes time to dub these movies. Now, you could say you could just put subtitles on it and get it to us right away. I don't disagree. I think maybe they should have gave Japan like a month and then we get it, not as long as it's going to be. I think it's like 3 months later that we get it. It came out in July, August, September, yeah, or July, August, yeah, like 2 or 3 months. So, but just some of the arguments against it, I don't understand why people think the way that they think. And like the more the more exposure I have to social media and the more that I have to engage with it all the time, I really believe that people just weren't taught delayed gratification when they were kids. Like my parents did. I don't, this may seem crazy, but I was raised by medical professionals and teachers. And so we had the delayed gratification test when I was a kid. And literally, like, there's a test that you can do with your children. We haven't done it with our children, but we will probably do it soon. Set your child down. They need to be old enough to make like a conscious choice, right? Consequences and choices. And so what my mom did to me was she sent me down, she put an M&M in front of me, or like a bowl with like 3 or 4 M&Ms in it, right? Just a few. Hey, you can have these right now. And then she takes a full bag of M&Ms unopened and puts it on the other side of the table. Or if you sit here for 5 minutes and don't touch those and wait, you can have the
Oh, I've
whole
seen stuff
bag.
like that.
You can
Yeah,
have the
yeah.
whole bag, right? I passed those tests because I think it's person by person. Like, do I want it now or do I want to wait a little bit and get more later? But I just think there's so many people these days that not that they weren't tested in that way, that they just their brains don't compute that way, right? That like sometimes waiting is better. And it's actually ironic saying this as we're complaining about the movies not being complete till 2021. I don't mind waiting, but if it's too long, that's a little bit of an issue, but it's just interesting to see the complaints and the justifications and like, well, I'm going to go pirate this movie, but I'm a true anime fan, but they should have had it ready sooner so that I can watch it. But I'm a real fan, even though I'm going to continue to pirate things and not actually support the medium that I love. Right. Again, nothing against people that pirate stuff. I'm not, nothing against it. Right. But
Who's talking to?
you still have a Crunchyroll subscription and a Netflix subscription and stuff like that. So you're still supporting
Well,
these
no, not Crunchyroll. I will never support
platforms.
Crunchyroll again. I'm sorry. I just
You
can't. I
you
can't.
deleted your Crunchyroll subscription?
Oh, heck yes, dude. I just, there's so much that Crunchyroll has done. And I definitely do want to maybe unpack this one day, but like, I just can't get behind Crunchyroll anymore. Funimation, they have my heart forever. But no, I still have Netflix, Prime Video, Hulu, Disney Plus. Anything that has a streaming service, we have, except for Crunchyroll. So there's a lot to unpack what you just said, and I'm going to do my best to answer and give my insight on what I think is. Now, when it comes to when you said delayed gratification, now we're not saying that since the movie's coming out when you'll be 40 at the time, that's
Three.
not the problem. What Will is saying is that we have speculation. First off, yes, we want it now. That understandable. But we can wait. We've waited for longer things. But what we're talking about is that the hype might die for it. And is it really necessary if you're pumping out 10 episodes, roughly 10 episodes a year,
For 6 years.
how for 6 years straight, how is it going to add up that we have to wait multiple years for you to just do one movie? Now, granted, we haven't seen the movie and we haven't seen the animation, so we don't know.
And
But
that's the
things aren't adding up.
justification. That's the justification people
Exactly.
are saying is because the animation is unparalleled, right?
But
So we have to
with
wait till
that,
we see it to understand that.
now when it comes to when you said with Japan trying to stay special, I understand that. That is totally fine. But anime has starting to get to the point where it's out of Japan now. It's completely out of it. It's on a whole different level. And it reminds me of what happened when Xbox and PlayStation were releasing games exclusively. That was the big uproar, and it still is currently going on with gamers. Why a lot of people switch to PCs too, because you can just have it on one system.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of my friends, I was always Xbox. A lot of my friends switched to PlayStation when I think the Call of Duty was strictly under PlayStation. Well, now apparently Call of Duty is under Xbox again. And all this stuff doesn't make sense to me where when you make exclusives, you're showing that, hey, I just want to get as much money as I can out of this. And I'm not worrying about the viewer. I'm not worrying about the
Right.
player. I'm not worrying
Not
about
worrying
the other
about
people.
access.
Now, I do understand and I do wish they paid their manga writers, their illustrators, their animators. I wish they paid them more and actually gave them better benefits, appreciation, all of that. They need that because right now, especially animation, I've noticed a lot is going crazy right now. Beautiful. I do give my support because of, flying that kite, the pirate life. Like I said, I give my support to the creators as much as possible. First off, with just recommendations alone, giving my reviews, trying to do is just word to mouth recommending anime. I can,
Pointing
that's the
people
least.
to consume it, but you're never
Yes.
telling them how to consume it.
No, well, I tell them where to find it too. That's also giving props to other streaming sites. Well, that's besides the point. Even Crunchyroll. Besides the point, I now collect manga. I'm collecting figures, which all that money right there is going to the person who licensed and who owns this. So hopefully they're paying their illustrators. Hopefully they're paying their manga. Hopefully they're paying their animators a rough, a decent salary. But yeah, we know how that story goes. But with the movies coming out and everything, I just it's more of a wait and see. I'm not, I'm not disappointed. I'm really want to know why. There's a lot of questions to go about that, but holding something and making certain things exclusive is another topic I want to talk about when it comes to Spotify, YouTube, and how it affects us as content creators, but even search engines and how it looks like the world is going to be like this because it also might be involving pirate sites because we've seen what's been going on with Texas and I think 20 other states that are backing this now. Apparently, I got to read up on this to make sure my information is correct. But currently, for those who don't know, what Spotify is doing is currently in the UK, which it will probably come into the US soon, is that they're going to require at least a face ID, like a face scan, or an actual driver's license or a physical copy of an ID for you to listen to anything that's 18 plus, anything that videos, podcasts, music, anything that is explicit They require this. That right there is insane. I understand, and they're doing this all to say for the children.
Who determines what's explicit though?
Exactly. Exactly. That right there, but also that's not going to work out because YouTube's doing the same thing, but they're doing it with the AI. It's starting in August, which is currently going on right now. Is you might have noticed they're issuing an AI that's going to study what you watch, that's going to study what you might be searching for. It's going to study everything you do and then gear it towards maybe other videos you might like, which, okay, you think that's good. But it's going to determine your age on what you watch. That makes no sense
What?
again, because what if you have a child? My daughter loves watching Miss Rachel.
And
So
she's
on my
watching it on
YouTube,
your YouTube account.
yeah, on my YouTube, and then same with my wife on her account too. She might be watching something else, like for me, if I'm watching sports or a certain anime or something like
Yeah.
that, that's on there. But guess what? Miss Rachel pops up here
Yeah.
and there.
Yeah.
So how are they going to gear what age I
Yeah,
am?
yeah, yeah. You can't
So
expect people to, because we're gone are the days where everybody's like logging into their computer to watch YouTube. You're just logged into YouTube on your phone, or you're logged into YouTube like on your Apple TV or on your
mhm,
TV, and you just open the app, right?
mhm,
Like, oh, hey, I'm gonna let my kid watch put this YouTube video on for my kid and give him my phone, or we're
100%.
gonna watch some YouTube on TV, and we're just gonna open our Apple TV, and I'm not logging out of my profile so that I can go log into my wife's profile so she can watch whatever it is she wants to watch.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So before you get to the comments and saying, "Oh, just use a VPN." Now, they've already talked about this. They've already stated that there is a lot of backlash with this, and then using a VPN won't work, and trying to do workarounds isn't going to work because first off, it's going to probably be worldwide at some point. But what Spotify is specifically doing is that right here it says if the age verification fails or you refuse, user accounts, this is so messed up, user accounts may be deactivated or even deleted after 90 days. So you're telling me the years and times that you spent curating your playlists, you're finding your podcast, finding like your artists, and especially like, your daily mixes, your Discover Weeklies, your release radars, all that is going to be gone because you're not willing to give out the information. And you might be thinking, okay, what's the big deal? We've seen what happens with this already. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called the T app. It is an app where women can put on there, and it's strictly only for women. You can put on there your thoughts of a person that you previously dated. So you have a picture of the person, you put
That
up
sounds
what,
terrifying.
right? You put on there what you thought about the person. If he's a nice guy, he's a bad guy, he only wanted this or he only wanted that. You can put all that on there. Now you're thinking, okay, that's messed up for the guy, right? No, that's not even the most messed up part. The app was on a domain, like a public domain or something, got hacked, and every person driver's license, because in
Yep,
order for you to
yep.
verify that you're a woman on this, you had to take a picture of the driver's license. The driver's license on there, all of those are freaking public now. Anyone who's on the app, you can see, and that is a
Where this
big
person
safety
lives.
issue.
Yeah.
They can show you where the person lives. It shows you like their age, like all that, and it takes simple reverse imagery to find out that person. Find out, okay, boom, this is the person right here I'm looking for. All this, like it shows, like, hey, like you find like a social media content creator, something like that. Take their image right there and reverse image, search it on that on the IDs. You found out where they live. That is infringing on so many rights. And the government apparently is talking about backing this because if you look at Australia, sorry, on December of 2025, they're going to make it to where you have to log in onto search engines. Anonymous browsing is going to be gone for everybody. You have to log into these search engines, verify your age, and I can understand, like I said, we all know what it's meant for and what the reason they're going after. But again, this stuff right here is going to be a big breach of my rights of hiding my identity as much as I can. It's going to be a breach on where you live, your safety, all of this. And I know when you go online, you're putting yourself out to the public, and nothing goes away on the internet. But here's the thing:
Well,
it's
from
already been
perspective,
proven.
yeah, from
It's already
perspective of
proven it doesn't
people like
work.
us, like to us to a very, very small degree, like I don't want everybody knowing where I live. There's people that don't like me. There's people that like me too much for my content, right? There's people that would be
I like
happy
you,
to
Will.
have my I like you too, Kyle. There's people that would love to have my address for not the best reasons, right? Like So that's really, really weird.
But speaking of online and your presence, again, like I said, apparently it is unattractive to watch anime. And this is coming from women. And those who don't know and understand, there is a recent post on Instagram that's going viral, which I think it's based off of a study. I don't know if it goes into depth with the study or not,
It could
but
be
it's based.
fake for all we
It,
know.
it could. But
It-
well, I don't know. What I'm looking at right now, there is actual research behind this, dude. It is pretty scary seeing some of this stuff with the percentages. I'll get into the percentages of where this gets really crazy. But women are finding that women are finding that men who watch anime to not be attractive. Out of all the hobbies you could do, multiple hobbies, they went through multiple ones, but some of the least attractive ones was anime, comic book collecting, cosplaying, debating, video games, crypto, and
Debating,
even yeah,
like
and
master
even
debating.
if you're
Are
the
they?
master at debating, I can't argue with
Are
that.
the are they
I
the,
can't.
the master debaters? I could see that would be an attractive hobby for dating.
And even makeup, which like that one I can understand a little bit, but at the same time, pretty much if you besides makeup, it could be I don't know, maybe it involves cosplaying too. If you are a geek nerd, whatever you want to call yourself, if you enjoy anything that any guy might that's not butch manly considered in today's standards, it's unattractive to women.
I'd love to know
Which
where this poll and this research was done, because if this was done at like TCU or some like college campus, like yeah, okay, it's going to be all these chicks that are young and they don't have a more
right.
mature worldview, right?
Well, great you asked me that, Will, because I have the information right here,
Oh,
actually. Yes. So the poll, they're speculating, so it's not 100% confirmed, but to give you the information, the poll was likely originated from date psychology. So if y'all want to find out where it is, you can look there. Surveying women reported up to 840 participants, about 74 hobbies. First of all, that's a crap ton. I didn't know there was that many hobbies you could do. I thought you just like what you like.
yeah.
Labeling each one kind of like Tinder, left or right, attractive, unattractive.
Okay. Okay.
So this post, like I said, is speculated to come from this poll that was taken, and it's just recently gone viral again.
It kind of makes me think of there was a viral video that was going around a while back. There was a guy, like, he was just doing street interviews and he was interviewing women and asking them, hey, what hobby makes a man unattractive? And this one girl goes, collecting Pokemon cards. And then like
Oh, that's a
Jason
gut
Page cut
punch,
it and
dude.
it goes to the theme song and it's like, I wanna be the very best.
Dude,
But
come
no,
on,
I get
dude.
things. It's so funny because it's like, on one hand, you have women that think this way, but then on the
Mhm.
other hand, I've seen videos of women that are like, it's like, hey, tell me your husband will never cheat on you without telling me your husband will never cheat on you. And then it's like a woman walking into the room and her husband's like cracking Pokemon packs or watching
Mhm.
anime, or she's like, hey, tell me
Right,
about your favorite anime. Oh my God, you
right.
have 20 minutes to talk about My Hero Academia. Deku is the coolest main character, the best shonen MC of all, right? So then you have stuff like that where like some women get it, but here's my perspective, okay? Likely the same women that participated in this poll that said that guys that cosplay, that collect Pokemon cards, that are master debaters. I'm sorry. Guys that like anime, likely the women that participated in that poll and said those men are unattractive are the same women that, on the other hand, are like, where are all the loyal men at? Why can't I find a good man that won't run around on me, that's not a POS, that's not a bum that wants to sleep on my couch and have me pay for everything? Those are probably the same women, because you know what? We're all nerds. We're all just wanting to participate in something fun, because guess what? If your man's a nerd, if your man likes computers or likes Pokemon cards or likes to watch anime or build cosplay, you know what he's
Mhm.
not
Mhm.
doing? Not
Mhm.
going to the bar 3 times a week,
Keep
throwing his
going.
money away around being
Testify.
around all these other floozies, because he wants
No.
to build his next Magic the Gathering commander deck, or he wants to
Yes.
paint his Warhammer 40,000
Yes.
Necron army, right? That's what he's worried about.
Feel
Those are
it.
the men that are loyal.
Mhm. Honestly, 100%. And also another thing too is that if your man is watching romance anime, not only is he enjoying it, he's learning, he's
Oh, that's good.
understanding what he needs to be doing. And what if you're pissed off at the main character for not saying what he needs to say, maybe you know what, I should tell that to that girl in there instead. Because if I'm being myself and you know what, trying to be all scared, not saying what I need to say, let me just say it, see how it happens. And guess what? You bagged her, bro. Now let's talk about this though. when it comes to all these women, apparently 840 of them finding it unattractive,
Such a
right?
massive poll.
Bringing up, right, bringing up Magic the Gathering, someone did say this, and it says that they thought it was very funny how if a man who likes playing Magic the Gathering is considered unattractive, but then if a woman sees, say, a man who takes up smithing, they see that as a physical attractive, thing. They might see that as being an attractive thing because maybe he's doing something physical. Is it just being lazy? Is that what we're seen as? Is it seen like we're not, touching grass like everyone assumes it is?
As
What
somebody that
is
has
it?
had the privilege and the pleasure to go to more anime conventions every year than most people get to go to, I can guarantee you that there are plenty of anime fans, Pokemon fans, and Magic the Gathering fans that are attractive and fit. There's plenty on the other side too, but we're all sorts here. There's plenty of jacked anime fans and there's plenty of overweight anime fans. It's not
Now,
just like
just an example, apparently there is a sexy, I think, anime or something related to that essence of a sexy convention almost for people to go to in DC. That
is it Sumicon?
there's
Echicon.
there's
Echicon. Echicon.
there's there's something where you could go there and you can meet. Say you want to find yourself a guy who likes anime. You want to find a
Oh,
girl who likes
like an
anime.
anime dating convention?
Kind of. It's something like that. I didn't read too much into because I was like, wait, they have that? If I was single, I would see myself there. Thankfully, it's like, I have an amazing wife and I'm happy. But also, gearing that too, I was thinking, okay, well, where's the double standard then? Because if I'm thinking, what if my wife did something that I didn't really think was attractive? For example, I saw a video of where this boyfriend found out that his girlfriend got invited backstage at a concert. Now, every
Wow.
guy knows that's probably one of the worst fears you could have. And another, like any guy can also say too, we know what's going on in our mind once we hear that. He's not at the concert. Her and her friends are at the concert, get invited backstage.
Well, you know what really matters? You know, the most important thing about all that
You're gonna say
are are
trust. I'm
are
I'm leaving.
are the members of the band on her list.
Oh,
Again, I'm showing my age making another joke. I referenced the Italian Job earlier, and I'm just referencing Fred
yeah.
now.
That
Okay.
was that was no. Yeah, that's true. First off, Italian Job, great, love that. But I was thinking, okay, if my wife got invited backstage at a concert that I was not attending and all that, I wouldn't feel too good about it. I would think that's, in my just bluntly saying, I think that's unattractive, right? But you're thinking, oh, well, it's okay for girls to hate on anime because, we're not doing this and all that. But at the same time, here I am. I'm not worried about my wife if she's doing a hobby and all. I'm worried about my wife when she's involving herself with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that right there, that's a thing. Is it, saying you're insecure in your relationship? No. Any guy has put their mindset like saying, like, what's one of the scariest things and all that, like if you're at a concert and your girls get invited backstage, we know what happens there.
Yeah.
So
I don't
that
know. If
right
my
there.
wife got invited backstage to a Taylor Swift concert, I'd probably be jealous. Just saying.
Well, that's true. But you're a Swiftie?
No, I mean, not really, but like she listens to her music so often. I'm like,
Okay.
oh, her music's good.
Dude, Ariana Grande is my wife. And
I took my wife to see the Eras tour in the movie, like in the movies. They had they did, like the
you're a better
tour
husband
thing.
than me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's pretty good. I like. Okay, this is cool. I like it. Yeah.
So, but with that and kind of wrapping it up before we get into the stats of, like I said, when you see this is sad. But I'm thinking though, my wife knows where I'm going to be on the weekends. My wife, right currently, my wife is gone right now with the baby and all. I have the house to myself. And guess what? Guess what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to grab some food, get hopefully, get comfortable, watch some anime, eat some junk food, and then go to bed.
Yeah.
Probably
My
stay
wife,
up late and all. That's
I
it.
gave my wife permission to track my phone.
Yes. My wife has all the
I
pass
gave her
codes,
that
everything and all
permission.
that. She knows everything.
You know what truly makes somebody unattractive, or what truly makes somebody undateable, is somebody that can't accept the hobbies that somebody else has and realize this person loves this thing. This
Mhm.
isn't hurting them. This isn't hurting
No,
anybody else. They
no.
love that. That's awesome. That's great. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. Like, you don't have to like it's cool if you both like it, but you don't have to. But the worst thing is when you're like, oh my God, like, what if our like think like I don't believe either of us would have married women that were like this, but what if our wives were like, ew, you watch anime? ew, that's gross. How
Right.
could you watch oh, no.
It's just a cartoon.
You
Ooh, you
really
watch
you really wanna
cartoons?
watch anime again? Can we watch just sit down on the couch and do something like you're gonna watch anime again?
Mhm.
No, like, my wife doesn't care for anime, but you know what? She's like, "Hey, we're gonna sit down." I'm like, "You wanna watch something? Like, you wanna watch one of our shows?" Sometimes she'll be like, "Yeah, let's watch one of our shows," or a lot of times she'll be like, "Well, why don't you just watch anime? I'm just gonna sit here and veg out. You can watch anime."
Granted, it took my wife a while to get to it. Obviously, once she saw the paychecks coming in, she doesn't mind anime too much. But it took her to realize, open up, maybe, if I can take interest in some of the things that she likes, because I'll watch her shows with her. I'll watch, I'll do whatever, she likes is fun, because I want to know more about my wife. Do I have to like those things? No, but I'm going to support my wife every way I can. And so she realized that, because as for me, the way I believe it, and you can believe different however you want. For me, I believe is that I am the example for my house. I have to be an example to my wife. I have to be an example to my kids. Hell, even my dog. I have to be an example. And with that, if I can support my wife, maybe she support me. It's kind of like that. The distant gratification. Recently, she's been really big into wanting to watch anime. That's why I said I'm really excited about her potentially watching Attack on Titan, because she's been more open to certain things. She was open. She enjoyed watching what she did with Blue Samurai. She's
Yeah,
potentially going to watch Arcane with me, and all. I don't know if I'm going to go back and rewatch, because I have a lot to say about that.
it's
She
we could do an episode
loves
just on Arcane, like, oh my
loves Soul
mhm.
Leveling. She's excited to
You should
just
have her
try
watch
more.
Golden Boy with you. Alright, everybody, good night.
I can't say that.
That'd be hilarious
Uh,
just to end the episode right there.
Dude, so getting back on track so we can end this episode on the right way, we're going to go over the polls. Anime ranked 27.4% of women surveyed, stating that it was unattractive. So it only got 24%.
But wasn't it, like, the 4th, like, highest answer or something, or the 5th highest answer?
I'm not sure. I can look at that more information, but what is funny though is that it is below. Well, no, it is just above. Okay, just above, barely. So 27.4% is anime. So below that, right there, is makeup. Apparently, men with makeup is also seen unattractive. That's not 2025 of you women. Come on,
Okay.
let's get better. But also, just below that, right there, is drinking. So you're telling me
Now see, that's
that
valid. That's a
we
valid one.
we just beat drinking and makeup.
Right,
You're telling
right.
me that
Anime is
because
just barely better than men who put makeup on and men who drink. Nothing wrong with any of that, but do it
yeah,
responsibly, right?
because we're staying home and being with you potentially,
What if I
and
wanna
we're
stay
not
home
getting in trouble,
What if I
but
wanna
yet,
stay home and watch anime and you pound some beers and put makeup on at the same time? Am I just the triple threat?
dude, you're probably the
I'm
ugliest thing I've ever
sure
seen.
I'm
You're gonna
sure
be
there's men out
so
there that say that.
unattractive. So you're telling me, yeah, you go home, makeup, beer, whatever. Yeah, you're unattractive. There's no saving you at that point. I mean, there's not percentage for that. That is insane. We just barely beat drinking, and how a stigma has been with the home, with dating life, with involving drinking. You're telling me anime
Yeah.
just barely beats it?
If watching
Come on.
anime makes men undateable, then I say watching garbage brain rot like Keeping Up with the Kardashians and Jersey Shore makes women
Grey's
undateable.
Anatomy.
Oh, yeah, that's a
That
boring
was the
show.
number one searched besides what was it? There I think it was like an anime or a show. I think there was something that beat the number one searched for like streaming like TV shows or movies.
Was it
Grey's
ER?
Anatomy was number
Grey's
two.
Anatomy? Interesting.
Was number two. There's that many people watching Grey's Anatomy.
Speaking of like medical TV shows, tangent off of anime, The Pit on HBO. Oh my god. I'm a trained emergency medical technician. I've done clinicals in like in emergency rooms and stuff. The Pit is a phenomenal like ER, emergency room show. Oh god. So what they do on it is it's 15 episodes long and it's one 15-hour shift. So every episode is an hour long and it's an hour of their
They're
shift.
trying to go like 24
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, yeah. That's what they did. Yeah. Super cool.
Well, see, I'm trained in trauma, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Arcane sucks. Right? It is not good. I don't like it right now. It's so, dude.
It
I
sucks
got
because
one
it's like
episode left of the
crazy
first
or
season.
it's traumatic. Yeah.
No,
Oh,
no, like her dealing with her trauma, a Jinx, and all that stuff. Like, and then
just wait.
none of this is
Wait.
making sense. Okay, my two little things. Okay, you got a man who you think would be traumatized. You have a man who has never killed anybody, potentially, and he kills a boy, a young kid, that innocent person with his little hammer, when he's going around in a circle. You're telling me that does nothing. But when you see a man with half his arm gone, I'm gonna throw up. Makes no sense.
Just wait.
Second,
Just wait.
who's supposed to be the love interest now? I don't know. Are we going with, because apparently the counselor guy, I thought he was in love with the girl with like the crazy legs. Holy crap. That's probably the only reason why a lot of guys watch it. Now apparently she's liking Violet or someone. I don't know what's going on anymore. And then you have a woman who's so crazy and strung out listening to stuff. That's the only reason probably why I'm keeping it. But then the storyline is just going all over the place and not forming. I like it. I'm fine with it going off in different tangents, but if it comes to a conclusion, I have one more episode left. It sucks.
I would finish season 1, and then season 2 really starts to flesh out a lot of these relationships.
It better.
Yeah.
It better.
Season 2 is wild. Like, you start to see love interests from multiple ways. They start to make connections to these different relationships, and you start to see like, oh, that's why that happened. And oh my God, this happened over here. And now Vi's dealing with this, and then this goes on and this goes on. Like, finish it. You'll really
this is where we can end the episode, because what I'll do this weekend is hopefully finish the darn thing, because I want to be over with it. Also, granted, the anime I'm currently watching, which I'll probably tell you guys about, that we can make that probably next week's episode.
Everybody,
I don't know if I want to talk about it.
Watch Golden Boy. Sit down with your parents. And watch Golden Boy.
Also, I do want to point out real quick, I appreciate and love the support we have been getting recently from our Spotify, from our Apple, from YouTube, our socials, all of that from the podcast. It is really just driving the fire that we have going for this. I'm excited because there's so many I'm seeing the stats, and it's just
everything's growing. Our numbers are going up, our views are going up, our subscribers, it's all growing organically. And we're not like going out there begging people to subscribe. We're not like making videos on our other platforms begging people to subscribe.
We're just being ourselves.
We're just making the content and putting it out there. And the fact that there's more followers and more views happening lets us know that like you guys enjoy it. So that's awesome.
And hopefully by this episode, when it comes out, or after this episode, just a quick thank you, a distant gratification thank you for our first like 100 followers on Spotify.
Nice,
because it's going crazy right now, and just the appreciation of something that we were very worried about starting, something we were very reluctant on starting. Just realizing, just being ourselves, talking about something we enjoy, is realizing that other people are enjoying this as well. That right there, it means the world to us, and we really do appreciate you guys.
Well, and we've passed 200 subscribers on YouTube, which is awesome. And you know what they say?
It's not easy, actually.
You know what they say, like in the podcasting like world, if you can get past 10 episodes.
Well, I thought it was 3.
No, if you can get past 10 episodes, then you've built the steam and the momentum. And we are recording right now. We're recording episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This will be the 9th.
This is episode 9. Yeah, we're recording episode 9. So,
which then hopefully the next time this will be the hump. Then we're over the hump, dude. The next one, let's go.
Everybody loves the hump.
Hey, hump day. Everyone, like I said, thank you so much. We will see you on episode 10. Like I said, it's just starting, man. Yeah, it is just starting. I'm enjoying every second with this. We will see you guys next week. Be sure to like, be sure to share this with your friends, and also leave a comment of what Will said might have pissed you off. Because honestly, I can see, I feel like I need a security blanket sometimes when you say certain things, because you said some outlandish stuff. I'm not gonna, but I'm not gonna say I disagree with it.
Listen, if what I said made you mad, that's okay. It's good. It means you have opinions. I still love.
We're gonna get a more than a cartoon security blanket that our listeners can listen to while we have it. And
a weighted blanket.
So, guys, Will's talking. Put on the blanket. All right, we'll do a little warning. And they know. You know what? It's safe. We're good. It's okay. He doesn't mean what he says, guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace out, y'all.